This is Dr. Gigi Sabbat, and you're listening into the Walk With Me podcast. Joining me today is Dr. Tanya Gold and her aunt, Loti Miles. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
You're such an honor. And for Dr. Tanya Gold, you've been on the show a few times now. Such an honor to have you back on the show. And now I do have a few questions for you ladies today. First of all, can you start off by telling us a little bit more about you and where are you from? Let's start off with Dr. Tanya Gold.
I'm originally from New York City, Brooklyn, New York. I currently reside in Tampa, Florida, and I'm a physician. I'm a menopause specialist. I work with women to navigate menopause safely and help them to feel empowered, informed, and supported in their journey.
Welcome. And Lori?
I am also from in Brooklyn, New York, and I lived in the same place Tanya did. And she is, as you said, my aunt. I mean, I'm her aunt. That's how nervous I am. I'm her aunt. She's my niece, and I'm very proud of her. And right now, I've written my book, Does God Evolve? And that's what I've done, and I'd like to concentrate on that.
I love it. Thank you so much, Lori, and welcome. Now, Dr. Tanya Gold, since being on the show previously, give us an update on life in general. How are things going for you?
It's wonderful. I actually did a launch party. I want to actually thank my Aunt Lori. She traveled all the way from Virginia to Tampa, as well as Gigi traveled from Palm Coast to come to Tampa, Florida to help me with my Wellness University launch party, which is an online platform I created to bring wellness to your fingertips. It's fun, healthy, practical ways that are simple that you can apply, that are based in the science. They're evidence-based techniques that you can use for everyday life to bring more joy, more happiness, more health into your life. And I feel really blessed to have so many wonderful people around me to launch this party, but also to launch the Wellness University. So we're getting our feet wet. It has a few minor tweaks, and then we'll be fully launched. It's there, it's out there, but we have to fix up some stuff, but it's almost done. I'm so excited.
Congratulations, Dr. Tanya Gold. Now, tell us about your podcast. What inspired it, and what are some of the key themes you explore?
My podcast is called the Fun Health Podcast, and it really is all about bringing more joy into your life. That's the same with the title of my book, 7 Habits of Extremely Happy People. I was really sick way back when, and in my 20s, actually, I had Lyme's disease and a severe red eye called uveitis. It was a pretty serious condition that can lead to blindness. But through joy, through laughter, through change in perspective and belief, I was able to turn things around. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I was devastated with the diagnosis, and any emotion you have is valid. But I realized for me, to stay in suffering and feeling depressed and worried and angry the whole time wasn't going to help me heal. So I used laughter yoga. I used a lot of natural medicine, which I include at Wellness University, and just a lot of intuitive health, where I was doing a lot of prayer and just seeing myself well. So that manifestation, also that visualization, helped me. But I realized with my Fun Health podcast, I can give people hope. So I get a lot of people who transform their lives, like you. I'm going to have Mrs. Universe on, and her story is incredible on the podcast. We've had people who've been through real hardships and how they transform their bodies, their minds, just to let you know that it is possible. Remember, impossible rewritten is I'm possible, to become healthier and happier and stronger, even as we get older. It's really important. I'm a big believer in strength training, especially for women, to empower them, support them, and love on them.
Excellent. Now, can you share more about your book, 7 Habits of Extremely Happy People, and what habits do you believe are essential for lasting happiness? And I have the book here with me.
No, thank you. I mean, honestly, all the 7 habits are all, once you see the book, I'll just kind of summarize, but it's all about living your best life, but living on purpose and living when I say responsibly, it's basically doing the things you need to do that's going to be most impactful for you. So you're not setting your goals or guidelines by everyone else. You're doing the things that really truly make you happy, and you're living in your lane, not comparing yourself to everybody else. It is a practice. I have to honestly say I was a very jealous person growing up. I would compare myself to everybody. Why do they have it easier? Why don't they get sick? Why did I get sick? Asking those questions, but you're never going to get real good answers to those. Instead, I started bringing more gratitude. I found out what actually worked for me, and I put that in my book. So that one of the biggest habits I find is just waking up, kiss the heavens, mwah, or kiss the sky, mwah, mwah, mwah. And it's a wonderful exercise just to be grateful. So adding in that gratitude, but I also, in the mundane or everyday activities, I just bring in joy. So I'm washing the dishes, and I'm not kidding. I'll play the music. I'm rocking it out, shaking my hips, doing the, like my husband says, it looks like you're doing a little pee-pee dance, but I'm just having fun. I'm jumping up and down. And I'll do that same thing with laundry, same things when I just appreciate what every moment I'm realizing, especially as I get older, it is a gift. Nothing's guaranteed for tomorrow. I want to live life to the best of my ability on my terms, but also just enjoy and appreciate my family, the connections. So that's one thing that I've been valuing more than stuff, like buying more things. I've actually been decluttering and just making more connections, like friends I really want to connect with. I used to say, oh, I'm too busy. I'm like, we're not going to get younger, So I honestly started calling them, and we're getting together with friends I haven't seen in decades. So high school friends, college friends. I feel so blessed. And then again, we're going to have the Soul Reset. So I'm really excited about that retreat we're doing together.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit more about the Soul Reset retreat we're having March 6th through March 9th in Palm Coast, Florida. Now, you and I are hosting the Soul Reset retreat. Again, that's in Palm Coast, Florida. Tell our audience a little bit more about it, and what will they experience?
It's going to be a lot of fun. I always say you never know what you don't know yet, but if anybody is getting challenged, they just feel like their plates are just overflowing with stuff to do, or they're just so busy. We'll talk about time as a perspective, because you can reframe so many things, and just even with our language. But in the retreat, we'll be doing a lot of breath work, a lot of release. I came up with a technique called Jaya, which is joyful energy activation. And I'll explain that in the retreat. But it really is a wonderful release to unload, because if you want to make room for happiness, you have to release the stuff that doesn't serve you. So if your mind is just, or you're in your head all the time, we need to unload that stuff so we can bring in the joy.
Thank you, Tanya. And what about the 4th annual Holistic Summit? When can folks expect to look out for the event here?
Yeah, we are going to do it in May. We had to postpone it. There was kind of an urgent matter that popped up. So we appreciate everybody's understanding. But we are going to get the details as I'm thinking in the next week or so. So we should have that up by the time everything is posted here with this podcast.
Thank you, Dr. Tanya Gold. And now the next set of questions I have here is for you, Lori. Mm-hmm. Now, tell us more about who you are and the work you do, Lori.
Well, right now, I'm living in a small town in Virginia. Both my husband and I are retired, and we enjoy this little town called Stanton. And basically, my husband does some writing, and I do some writing, and we read and we edit each other's work sometimes. And that's basically it. We also like to dance, and we love dancing, actually. And as the Bible says, there's a time for everything, including dancing. And basically, that's it. And we enjoy living here. We enjoy the beauties of the place. We live right near the Shenandoah Valley, and it's a lovely place. Weather is so-so right now, but otherwise it's pretty good.
I love it. Now, tell us a little bit more about your book, which I have here. I'll share it as well. Does God Evolve? What inspired you to write this book, and what core message do you hope readers take away, Lori?
Well, I do ask the question, does God evolve? And in my book, he does change. And I take my favorite stories, some of my favorite stories, I haven't written all of them yet, uh, and I show you, I uncover, there are so many different layers to the Bible, to Bible stories. I know a lot of people think the Bible is passé these days and old fashioned and just plain old, but there is so much to be discovered in it. And the first story I write about is what I call the curiosity tree, or the price of growing up. And it's about Adam and Eve. Everybody knows the story, they're familiar with it. Um, but there's so much more to discover about it. And what I take out of that story is the key is curiosity. God gave us this great gift of curiosity, which not everybody is using these days. But the story basically is that everyone knows God creates the first couple. He puts them, drops them in this beautiful place. And then he says, you can do whatever you want. You're in charge here, but there's one thing you must not do. You must not touch that tree, the tree of knowledge. And now, Adam and Eve are like children. So obviously, they don't have a lot of self-control to begin with. So the story is kind of odd because you can say to yourself, that's a very cruel thing to do. Why would God put this tree there and then tell Adam and Eve, but you can't touch it? Naturally, what does that do to these people? It what God also gave them, which is a key to the story, is that he gave them this spark of curiosity. And he knew that. He knew that he would ban this tree, and then he knew that that's exactly what they would want to do. And that's what they do. They ask questions. What is this tree? Why is it there? Why can't we touch it? And of course, the whole point of the story is that God does not want them not to touch the tree and not to eat from it. He wants them to eat the tree of knowledge. He wants them to learn and know and grow up and leave the garden, because it's really only a temporary place. And that's the main part of my this important part of this story is how important curiosity is to us. God gave us this great gift of curiosity and people of wanting to know. And curiosity and asking questions is the very basis of civilization, of invention, of creation, of building. Um, Einstein was once asked, what makes you different from other people? And he talked about curiosity and asking questions. He said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. I think too many people today are too wrapped up in texting and not looking at the world and saying, what makes this tick? What makes this go on? Why is it like this? And that's what we need. We need to wake up and be curious. You can ask yourself, every day, ask yourself a question. Um, what makes this work? What do I want to know? Uh, yeah, it's so important. I think kids today and even adults, and you should never stop questioning, no matter how old. And I speak from experience because I am. I don't mind saying I'm old. It's fine to be old. And you should never, ever stop questioning and never stop being curious. That's one story of my Bible, of my book. And of course, each Bible story has a special gem in it, which I like to uncover. Um, for instance, the story of uh, Jacob and Esau, which is battling siblings, which people know about. And I like that story because Esau is not that well known. He's not that well known character. But in this story, the siblings are separated. The brothers are separated for a very long, long time. And they meet again. And because of the trick that Jacob had played on Esau, Jacob is afraid that Esau is going to hurt him, kill him, and hurt his family. And he puts together a lot of gifts and offers them to his brother, sends them to his brother. And his brother comes and he says, "What are all these gifts for? I don't need these gifts. I just want to see you. And I just want to renew our acquaintance and get to know each other again." That's a very beautiful story because it's a story about forgiveness. Esau forgives Jacob and they bond again. And it's about family and bonding. And this is another story in my book that I detail. The Bible is so full of so many different aspects, including humor. For instance, one story is a story where Jacob falls in love with his cousin Rachel, and he wants to marry her. And his uncle says, "Sure, you can marry her." What he doesn't tell him is that Rachel cannot be married before her older sister Leah. So on the day that Jacob gets married, which is strictly a male affair, the bride wasn't even involved in it. But later on, the father brings the bride to Jacob's chamber. It's the wedding night. And Jacob is very happy. He now has his love, Rachel. And he wakes up in the morning and finds out that he doesn't have Rachel, he has Leah. Now, of course, this must have been a very funny story. People telling each other, here's Jacob goes to bed very happy and wakes up and he says, "Behold, it's Leah." So there's lots of humor. And there's also the story of God, which many people will say, not only is the Bible passe, but why is God the way he is? Why does God do the things he does? Which is a question. Because there are some harsh things in the Bible. God does, there's violence. And why does God wipe out a town like Jericho? In my book, God does change. And there is the God where God says, wipes out a town because they're the other. And then there's the God of Jonah, where God says to Jonah, his prophet, that Jonah should go preach to the people of Nineveh. And interestingly, it is Jonah who's kind of backward. He says, "I don't want to preach to them. They're not my people." And God says, "No, these are my people too. And I want you to preach to them," because God has become the God of everyone, of God of all people. So in my book, God does evolve, God does change. And I think that's very important, that God changes along with people.
That's right. Very powerful. Thank you, Lori. And now, for someone seeking to build or strengthen a relationship with him, where would you recommend they begin?
I would recommend that they begin in themselves, that they see what God has given them, the great gifts, as I spoke about, curiosity and the desire for knowledge and learning. And for instance, where I spoke about Esau and Jacob and their compassion and the forgiveness in that story. You look in yourself and you see what the great gifts that God has given you, and what can I do now? What can I ask for? What are the questions? What do I want to know? And to me, that will bring you closer to God by looking at the gifts that God gave you, the great gifts, the enormous capacity that we all have for learning, for creating, as no matter how old you are, we have this enormous capacity to know, to learn, and to listen to other people too, because curiosity helps us to learn about other people, to find out the best what they know. And to me, that will bring you closer to God.
Right. Very powerful. Now, how do you define servant leadership, and what does it personally mean to you?
Servant leadership is to be honest, I'm not sure what servant leadership is. I mean, I know the term. And
well, Dr. Tanya Gold, your niece is here. Tanya, take it away.
Yeah.
Servant leadership, what does it mean?
My understanding for servant leadership is actually kind of as the word depicts servant, it literally is leading the group and just basically in God's honor, you are doing your best to support, like with your book, if you say you were giving a talk to other people and you were just guiding them through that process of helping them to acknowledge their meaning or connection with God. For me as a servant leader, I feel like as a physician with my patients, I'm a servant leader in the respect with my patients. I'm just the servant. People are like, oh, you're the doctor, but I don't take that credit. I mean, it's just, I get channeled a lot of times from our creator, and a lot of course, evidence-based medicine from what I've read and what I've studied. I use that to help my patients so that they can be better manifestations of themselves, so they can live productively with vitality. They can take care of their families. They can be happy, happier, stronger, and healthier. So for me, it's just understanding that it's that role of just kind of understanding it's not all about you. We're here to actually serve the masses, or
That's
serve
right.
our population.
That's absolutely correct. And I appreciate you being transparent, Lori, and asking the question.
Yeah.
I say no question is a stupid question. So thank you so much, Lori. And so the last question I have for you, Lori, is what projects are you currently working on? And do you have any upcoming projects planned for 2026?
Well, I would like to, I love the Bible, and I would like to do more with the Bible. I will continue to probably come out with another volume of Bible stories, because there are so many that I want to uncover and actually learn myself, which I have not uncovered as yet. Right now, I'm doing some other things, like I'm helping my husband with his putting his previous writings online, and I'm also working on my family website, where I've taken lots of documents and putting them online so they will not be lost forever. And so that is basically what I'm doing right now, and planning to do more on the Bible. I have not, for instance, I concentrated on in my God Evolves book, I concentrated on the Old Testament. I would like to do some work on the New Testament as well.
Thank you, Lori. And thank you both for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast. Do you have any last words? I'll go with Tanya. Any last words?
I wanted to thank Lori too. She actually was very instrumental in getting my book done, because I struggled with some ADD, and she actually helped me to organize and read through many chapters and gave me a lot of good advice to get my book finished. And then once her book was done way before mine, and once she finished it, I was like, if she could do it, then I could do this too. It was because sometimes it seems so so like it's too big to get something done, a project, and then you see somebody else doing it and you're like, all right, they can do it, or tell me what you did. And she shared, and I was able to get my book done. So I want to thank her for that. On a bigger note, my mission or my goal for all women, as I know this is getting off topic for just one moment, but is just to make sure you know that your health does matter, and hormones. The guidelines don't recommend to definitely check your hormones, but there's so many symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, even including joint pain or tinnitus or vertigo. So if you get dizzy, panic attacks, just make sure you get evaluated by informed healthcare specialists in this area to help you. And then on the note of happiness and joy, know that no matter what you've been through, that doesn't define you. A diagnosis doesn't define you. You're meant for greatness. You're meant to be happy. That's why we have smiling muscles. That's why we have joy in our hearts. So it's a practice. I honestly was a pretty serious kid and was very shy. And with practice, you can bring in joy and laughter just to do it, just for a few seconds. If we can just, wherever we are, if you want to just join me in a little and laugh intentionally to feel good. And let's just say, very good.
Very good. Yay!
And I'm just celebrating all of you and everyone listening. I just want to say thank you for watching this podcast. Gigi really is amazing. She's an angel. She's a beautiful, wonderful light in this world. My mom completed her life early. My aunt honestly took her role in this, in just helping to raise us and just give us so much wisdom. Anytime I was hurting or needed to just talk to her, we talk at least once a week usually. And it's just, she's always there. And I just want to say thank you for always being there for me. It means the world.
Wow, very sweet. Thank you so much, Tanya. And Lori, any last words?
Well, first, thank you, Gigi, for having me on. And thank you, Tanya, for encouraging a shy person like me to be on. And thank you for those words, Tanya. Tanya is my niece, but she's also like my daughter. Is my daughter, which I share with my sister. And I'm glad I was on here. That's all I can say. I'm glad I came on. I'm glad Tanya encouraged me. And I'm glad you, Gigi, asked me. I'm very happy to be on. I'm very happy. And I love Tanya. I love your words. You are an inspiration, and an inspiration to me. I love to hear you talk. I love to hear your words. I love to hear your laughter. Thank you. Thank you, Gigi.
You're welcome. And thank you both. God bless you and be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.